Who are you? Hoo. My name is Mark, and this is my music rundown. The Who announce a North American farewell tour. Roger Daltrey is 81, and Pete Townsend is 79. The Song Is Over tour will happen in major cities from August through September in North America. Ticket pre-sales start Tuesday morning, May 13th at 10 a.m. local venue time. A couple of weeks ago, The Who made the news when Roger Daltrey fired longtime drummer Zak Starkey. Zak Starkey happens to be the son of legendary Beatles drummer Ringo Starr. The news coverage seemed to portray Daltrey as a cranky old man who fired Starkey in a moment of anger due to the sound levels of his in-ear monitors being too high. Maybe a week or so later, The Who rolled that back, rehiring Starkey with Pete Townsend posting a statement on The Who's website. The statement basically says they had some shit to work out, it escalated and quickly went too far. But fortunately, the band had the fortitude to regroup and work it out. I commend them for handling this. Far too often, bands literally die because members get into it with each other, and that rift goes so far it destroys the band. It takes a lot of courage to take a big step back, work that shit out, and allow the band to continue. Ultimately, this is private band business, and I think the public got just enough info, and the resolution was spot on. They handled it great. We can all just move on from that. I am literally entering the queue to watch ticket sales. My wife and I go to a lot of concerts. It seems all the bands I grew up with in the late 70s and 80s are doing their last hurrahs. We talk about concert announcements a couple times a week and decide who we want to see and who we can skip. There's a few bands on the every time list. We see 38 Special anytime they're close enough for us to go. Lynyrd Skynyrd is also on the list, and there are a couple more. Most bands are in the we see them once and then not again category. We also talk about the dream list, or some would say bucket list, and it just so happens that The Who is the top listing on my bucket list. I knew they played shows in the UK from time to time, and Daltrey would do some solo gigs over here, but I never thought I would get the chance to see Daltrey and Townsend on the stage together ever again. Well, it's happening. The United Center in Chicago on Sunday, September 7th. Ticket pre-sales start Tuesday, May 13th at 10 a.m. local venue time, and I just cannot wait to get these tickets. I missed the deadline to buy a pre-sale code via the Hooligan Club, so we're just going to have to rely on the general pre-sales, and we'll see how that goes. I was able to find this list of VIP packages. This list comes from VIPNation.com. The Baba O'Reilly Ultimate Package includes a ticket in the first 5 rows, access to the pre-show sound check, invitation to the pre-show lounge, where they will have hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and a memorabilia display of instruments and things from The Who. I had this type of lounge experience with Queen at the United Center, and it was pretty cool. They had costumes and stage clothes worn by Freddie Mercury. They had old guitars played by Brian May. All of that was on display, definitely behind glass. Next, we have a tour poster signed by Daltrey and Townsend. I hope these are true signatures and not just auto pen or part of the image. You get a specially designed VIP merch pack. This is usually swag type stuff, pens, mouse pads, can koozies, and that kind of stuff. Next, we have the My Generation package. Looking at the details here, this seems to include everything in the Baba O'Reilly package except the ticket in the first 5 rows. It just says premium reserve ticket, so not in the first 5 rows. Finally, we have the Who Are You package, which is just the swag and a premium ticket. No sound check, no lounge, and no autograph poster. Here's my guess for the prices of the VIP tickets. I'm going to say Baba O'Reilly is going to be $2,000 a ticket. The My Generation package, $1,250 a ticket. And Who Are You is going to be $700 a ticket. Today, we have the luxury of seeing the Eastern Time Zone seats go on sale 1 hour before our target venue, which is in the Central Time Zone. We're just going to take a look at these sales. This is going to be non-scripted, and we're just going to screen capture the experience. We'll see how this goes and how much I have to cut out. Let's switch the scene here to my screenshot, and I'll apologize in advance if we get notifications and stuff popping up. So when you first come to one of these Ticketmaster pre-sale screens, it's usually a countdown timer. It'll say pre-sale starts in X days, hours, minutes, whatever. And then at some point it switches over to joining the waiting room. Now, the text on that page says show up 10 minutes early to give yourself time to log in, verify your account, and make sure your payment method is ready. It's been my experience that this waiting room and the ability to join it and confirm your account and such, that happens earlier than 10 minutes. It's anywhere between 20 minutes and 10 minutes. While I was recording the video here, a bit earlier in this video, I refreshed this page, which was off camera for you guys, at about 14 minutes, and it took me to the join the waiting room screen. So we'll see what our position is when the queue happens. We have about 5 minutes until the queue. We'll probably cut some of this out. I chose the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia as my target here, as again, prior to the sale, before this waiting room starts, that preview screen with the countdown timer will show the map of the venue and basically the sections by number and where the stage is at. It doesn't let you zoom in or anything to see the seat locations, but you can see the layout of the stadium, and I chose the Wells Fargo Center as that layout was almost identical to what was shown for the United Center. So I'm hoping with the layouts being similar that the ticket prices will be similar, and we can also see how many people are in the queue when this goes to the queue and how fast the ticket sales happen once people can start purchasing tickets. This process is always nerve-wracking. There are so many factors involved in snagging these tickets early. When AC/DC tickets went on sale, I was using the Chrome browser, and during that process, the Chrome browser actually crashed. It kicked me out. I had to relaunch using the Edge browser, and I had to rejoin the queue. And when I did rejoin the queue, there were something like 30,000 people ahead of me in the queue. It took 20 minutes to get back in to pick seats. Fortunately, there were still floor seats available. I don't know what the velocity of the Who is going to be compared to AC/DC. That might be an argument for the comments section. 1 minute to join the queue. I'm going to guess there will be 4,500 people ahead of me in the queue when it opens. 4,500 ahead of me in the queue is what I'm going to guess. We're under a minute now. So yeah, because of that AC/DC debacle, I only use the Edge browser when I'm buying tickets, and I have not had any issues after that. So don't know if it's some particular plugin that I happen to have on Chrome that's causing that, or what the problem is, but if the ability to zoom in and pick seats is laggy and slow, try a different browser. Edge works for me. All right, we're close. My phone and my computer say 10 o'clock. Okay. Oh, my Lord, was I wrong. 12,447 people. We're going to see how the queue goes here. So that tells me, starting at when I get to my central time zone purchase, where I'm actually going to buy tickets, that I need to be there at 25 minutes prior to the tickets going on sale, and I need to refresh the page frequently in that 20 to 14-minute time frame to get into the queue and the waiting room faster. Typically, this goes down in fairly good chunks because a lot of these people are going to have sticker shock when they get in there and see how much the tickets are. They're expecting front row seats to be $89, and when they're not, they're just not going. We can also talk about some guesses for the prices of some of the other seats. I think the lowest price ticket in the nosebleeds is going to be $250. That's my guess. $250 in the nosebleeds. We're down under 1,000, 830. It was at 18 and it dropped 1,000 here. Getting close. It's been 18 minutes for a 12,000 plus queue to get down close. All right, any minute now. 110. The next should be It's Almost Your Turn. Hopefully we don't glitch out when it goes into the queue. Except, okay, let's scroll in and see what we got. Uh-oh. Are they all locked? Oh, they're all locked. We need a code. Oh, man. We need a code. We got to find a code. All right, we are back. Needed a pre-sale code. Didn't have the hooligan code. But I did discover that my Citibank card will in fact unlock tickets at that Philly venue. So we're going to hope this is the real deal here. We're going to hope that my Citibank card will unlock these tickets for us. We will also test my editing skills to hide the Citibank card from you fine people. So I was wrong about the number of people in the queue when it launched for the Philly venue. I guessed 4,500. It was way up there to 12,000. Hopefully this one will not be like that. Oh, 18,000 ahead of me. Brutal. It took about 15 minutes for the queue to go down in Philly. Chicago, we'll see. I was also way off on guesses for the ticket prices. The Baba O'Reilly package, they had a couple of seats in the Philly venue, about 11 something, just under 1,200 a ticket. So I was off by half. The next package that is just the sound check and all the goodies, but not in the first 5 rows, those were also like 1,000 or 1,100 a ticket. That's good news if I was ready to spend 2,500 a ticket, and it's only going to be 1,100 a ticket. But we'll see when we get in. I expect this queue to take maybe 15 minutes. I'll probably cut a bunch of it out here so you don't have to listen to my ramblings and notifications going off on my phone and such. All right, chunking down fast. That's because all the good shit is gone. People are getting in, seeing their prices and not buying. Here we go. Let's see what we get. It's not going to let me buy those because there's a single seat there. Thank you, whoever bought that single seat. No longer available. That's bullshit. Let's try. Yeah, this one is going to be kind of far, but I don't know. Center better than... All right. Oh, yeah. All right. There we go. Lots of fraud checking, codes, and other nonsense to get the credit card to go through, but we're in row 8 in the center of the stage. I would have liked to have been closer, but just being in the building is going to be cool. So let's let me switch my scene back. All right. So I'm going to see The Who. Pretty excited about that. The credit card nonsense was very frustrating. I had to verify the payment with a text message. Then the credit card company declined it, sent me a text asking me if I attempted to make the charge. I responded to that text. It said, okay, now you can try it again. Tried it again. It failed with a bad gateway error. Reset, try again. Had to confirm by text again. Then finally the payment was successful and I secured those 2 seats. So I am quite excited about that. So now, just for fun, we're going to switch this scene back, and I'm going to go through and check the queue again and just see how many people are in there. Codes and stuff. I get that they do this for security and to stop bots and stuff. Oh, no queue. Jump right in. No queue. Jump right in. Let's see if it'll tell me prices. I don't think so. I got to unlock the thing. Hang on. I'll unlock. I'm going to... All right. Now we can see what is going on. There's some better seats in row 5 that were not available when I did mine. That's disappointing. Let's look up here. $410 in the first level. The very top row, $151. I think I guessed 250. So let's see, the furthest one's 71. Way back here, 118. These seats up here, 118. So the lowest price to get in to see The Who, 118 bucks. There's a couple of third row seats up here, 1180. No VIP stuff. Those are just blue tickets. So no sound check, no nada. There's row 6, 4, and 5. Yeah, so I'm excited. Going to see The Who. Time for me to go to work and make some money back. Got to pay for these tickets. My name is Mark. This has been my music rundown, and I will see you at The Who in concert in Chicago.
Another piece of bacon, baby.